Have you ever wondered how someone could go from being sold as a slave to becoming the second most powerful person in the ancient world? This incredible transformation is exactly what happened in the remarkable story of Joseph, a testament to faith, forgiveness, and divine providence. Our story begins in the land of Canaan, around 1900 BC. Joseph was the 11th of 12 sons born to Jacob, also known as Israel. As the first son of Rachel, Jacob's favorite wife, Joseph held a special place in his father's heart. This favoritism was symbolized by an elaborate coat of many colors that Jacob gave to Joseph, a gift that would soon become both a blessing and a curse. At 17, Joseph had dreams that suggested his family would one day bow down to him. In one dream, he and his brothers were binding sheaves of grain when his brothers' sheaves bowed to his. In another, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. His brothers, already resentful of their father's favoritism, grew to hate him even more when he shared these dreams. Their hatred reached a breaking point when Joseph's brothers saw him approaching their grazing fields one day. They initially plotted to kill him, but instead, they stripped him of his colorful coat and sold him to Ishmaelite merchants for 20 pieces of silver. The brothers then dipped Joseph's coat in goat's blood and showed it to their father, leading Jacob to believe his beloved son had been killed by wild animals. But God had greater plans for Joseph. Sold into slavery in Egypt, he was purchased by Potiphar, an official in Pharaoh's court. Joseph's integrity and abilities quickly earned him a position of trust, and he was put in charge of Potiphar's entire household. However, his success was interrupted when Potiphar's wife falsely accused him of assault after he refused her advances. Joseph was thrown into prison, where God continued to be with him. Even in prison, Joseph's exceptional character and ability to interpret dreams became evident. He correctly interpreted the dreams of Pharaoh's imprisoned cupbearer and baker, predicting the cupbearer's restoration and the baker's execution. Despite asking the cupbearer to remember him, Joseph remained forgotten in prison for 2 more years. Everything changed when Pharaoh himself had 2 troubling dreams that none of his wise men could interpret. The cupbearer finally remembered Joseph and mentioned him to Pharaoh. Brought from prison, Joseph explained that Pharaoh's dreams predicted 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. He advised storing grain during the plentiful years to prepare for the coming hardship. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom and the divine spirit within him, Pharaoh appointed him as governor over all Egypt. At 30 years old, Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister. He implemented a nationwide grain storage system during the 7 abundant years, preparing Egypt for the coming famine. When the famine struck, it affected not only Egypt, but also Canaan, where Joseph's family still lived. His brothers came to Egypt seeking food, not recognizing their brother, who now wore Egyptian clothing and spoke through an interpreter. Joseph recognized them immediately, but didn't reveal his identity. Instead, he tested them to see if they had changed. Through a series of encounters, Joseph saw genuine remorse in his brothers, particularly when they demonstrated concern for their youngest brother Benjamin and their elderly father. Finally, in an emotionally charged moment, Joseph revealed his identity to his brothers, saying, "I am Joseph. Is my father still living?" His brothers were terrified, but Joseph reassured them, saying, "Don't be afraid. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph arranged for his entire family to move to Egypt, where they settled in the fertile region of Goshen. He was reunited with his father Jacob, who lived to see his son's prosperity and success. The story of Joseph demonstrates how God can use challenging circumstances to fulfill his greater purpose. Through betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment, Joseph maintained his faith and integrity, ultimately becoming an instrument of salvation for his family and many others. This ancient story resonates with timeless themes: the complexity of family relationships, the power of forgiveness, and the mysterious ways God works through human actions, both good and evil, to accomplish his purposes. Joseph's life shows us that success isn't measured by circumstances, but by faithfulness to God's calling, and that even in our darkest moments, God can be preparing us for something greater than we could imagine. Joseph's story reminds us that our current circumstances don't determine our final destination. Through his example, we learn that maintaining integrity in adversity, forgiving those who wrong us, and trusting in God's larger plan can lead to unexpected blessings and opportunities to help others. His journey from the pit to the palace stands as an enduring testament to the transformative power of faith and the far-reaching impact of choosing forgiveness over revenge. Like and subscribe for more videos.